The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat, hop open a cold one with all of your friends. It is Wednesday night, a couple of hairs past 10 p.m., and you have been granted access to the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. So whether you're a friend or you're a fiend, boy, girl, or in between, you are tuning in to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Yeah! We live again!
Absolutely. Here on a Wednesday night, September 6th, and we're happy to be here with everybody. And it's coming slowly at the speed of a tortoise, but we're getting some fall weather.
I know. For once, I didn't catch on fire until 60 seconds after I walked out my door.
Usually it was
Hey,
15.
I call that.
I know.
Hey, I call that progress.
I'll take it. Progress is progress, and please do consider that our office is located in sunny old Florida. We're a little too close to the equator for comfort, so the danger is higher.
Yeah, just a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, just
a bit. What do you mean, just a bit? We are literally closer to the sun.
We're no closer to the sun than we were yesterday, Angel. I'm your host, Juan Arouse, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock, folks. Welcome to the Black Files. This is our podcast where we focus in on one topic in the world of nerd and pop culture, hone in on it with a fine-tooth comb, and rip it open from the inside to actually give folks a nuanced, balanced experience in the world of these bite-sized catchphrase freaking news. And joining us tonight are the usual suspects. Of course, you've got the aforementioned living into the Ravens Flock, a man with a million opinions and zero apologies, the host of Los Amigos Play every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Give it up for Mr. Angel Mendez!
Hello to our beloved listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for taking the time for joining us today. I am the humble host of Los Amigos Play, proud and yet ever happy member of the Ravens Flock, Angel Mendez. Happy to be here with you once more. And I hope that you had the time to sit down, relax, and enjoy a cold one with the boys.
Exactly.
I apologize if my usual enthusiasm is somewhat lacking right now, but I am absolutely, utterly exhausted from a rather long and complicated day of work. So do pardon me if my presence is somewhat reduced in this episode.
Dude, don't worry. That's what you've got us for. We'll help cover your back over here. We will help animate this program tonight a little bit more. You hear
Thank
that,
you,
Jose?
bros.
Animate!
All right, I get it.
And let's not forget, of course, the man with the plan, the founder of the Ravens Flock, executive producer of the channel, the chief content manager, and the host of Wrestle Rewind, live every Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Give it up for Mr. Jose Casabona!
Hello, everyone. We're happy to have all of you here tonight on a Wednesday night. I hope that you enjoy us discussing and yelling about certain video game idiots who decide to yell instead of discuss.
Oh, the irony.
I know.
It's painful.
Well, go ahead and, Jose, do you know what to do? Go ahead and take care of the usual plugs and stuff and get people talking.
Absolutely, folks. And much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/theravensflock and kick.com/theravensflock. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications on all of our content. Leave your questions and comments below. We will answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, whether it be YouTube or Kick, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have exclusive access to all the perks that comes with being a member. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the interflockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely custom badges and custom emojis that we've made just for you, signifying to everyone that you are part of the inner circle. You are part of the interflockers crowd. You are helping support the Ravens Flock in our endeavors to continue to make your voice our mission by helping us succeed in this hostile ocean of of YouTube stupidities, and hopefully we can someday shed the shackles of late-stage capitalism and become full-time YouTubers in order to continue doing what we actually love for a living, instead of doing what we have to do in order to just subsist. You also get access to...
But I don't want to shed the shackles. I want to put them on someone else.
Angel, don't worry. That's what Michael's for.
Oh, okay, good. We can do that.
You also get access to members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you'll also get access to us, the Ravens Flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your feedback, your ideas on how to better shape the future of this channel by creating the content that you want to see. Let's go ahead and say hello to Kurisi Randall-san and Randall-sama and Gene Rick, who is celebrating being an inner flocker for 12 months. Holy
nice.
Shit.
Amazing.
A full year is
it's your anniversary, baby. Thank you.
Isn't that incredible, man? Gene Rick is saying, I'm doing my happy dance, 1 year Ravens Flock. Wouldn't spend it any other way. Thank you for that.
Thanks, my dude.
Yay.
He's doing his part. And you too can do your part. For the cost of a measly $4.99, you too can receive proper information from an extremely unbiased source. Not us, but we're close enough.
We also have Lisa Boo and Ms. Kim in the chat. And let's see who else.
Thank you.
And Nikki Bella holding it down. The Struggler as well. He's saying, okay, it looks like I have to show up for this one. Well, Struggler, we hope that you enjoy yourself. We hope all of you enjoy yourselves in the chat. And we know we've got some lurkers, people sneaking in on the kick stream. Don't be shy. Just pipe up. Say hello. Is there any...
Man, let them sneak in.
Yeah. Okay.
We welcome everybody. Our doors are always open.
We appreciate it, folks. We're like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business, but we're always open. Now, I have to preface this right freaking now, folks. Tonight's episode, I had to actually complain to myself and to Jose and to K-Storm that I really didn't want to have to talk about this shit.
It honestly feels like something that shouldn't even be worth talking about to begin with.
It really
Juancho, considering that we've already talked to death about everything that's going on with CM Punk, I figured we could use a break.
You know, like the 89,000 people did.
Oh!
Yeah. The Angel's referring to the fact that on Saturday night's episode of the Ravens Flock, while we were live, they aired their live episode of AEW Collision, where the moment Tony Khan, the owner and head of AEW, announced that CM Punk was unceremoniously fired, 89,000 people tuned out of the program completely. They dipped out. They went biskies. That's more people than what actually filled Wembley Stadium. Actually, no, they were short by 35 people. Yeah, enough people to fill Wembley Stadium for their gigantic All-In London event. Went ahead and went all the fuck out because of CM Punk's firing and protest. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you promise them an event centered around CM Punk, who just had his dramatic match with Samoa Joe, and then you just let him go like that. I mean, I don't know what you were expecting, but it's like that little animated clip from The Office. The bag that says dead pigeon, he opens the bag. I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless... Yeah,
it wasn't The Office. It was Arrested Development. And your bag says dead pigeon, do not eat.
But nevertheless, the whole CM Punk controversy, despite how many times we've talked about recently, it is something worth getting angry about. But there are a few things that really didn't need to be made a big deal.
One thing that,
alas.
I'm sorry. I'm saying, like, you're trying to segue me over here, and I understand and I appreciate it, but that's not what I was trying to say. I don't want to have to talk about this. I prefer when we go onto the Black Files and we discuss these kind of news stories in nerd and pop culture. I like giving people nuance. I like being able to show it's not a binary option. It is an entire hexadecimal multi-matrix of different choices and possibilities on how a situation can be sliced. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way...
Or we can just get really angry at stupid shit. How about that?
but we're smarter
Yeah,
than
let's
that.
just get angry at stupid
We're
shit.
the Ravens flock. We're
We are?
smarter
Sure.
than just getting angry at stupid shit.
No, that sounds like pretty stupid shit. I'm gonna get angry about that now.
Good lordy.
So,
So,
God, this feels
now-
like such a pointless detour. I get what we're doing it, but I feel like I just went to the restaurant and they just told me that we have to criticize the biggest nothing burger that has ever burgered the nothing.
I know,
Does this make sense to you?
That's exactly what this feels like. It's
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
what
so
this
I'm not
feels
alone
like.
in this feeling then.
No,
Great.
you're not alone, Angel. Don't worry, you're not alone on this. Okay, so here we go. And I'm trying my damnedest not to just lose my mind just to bring this up. Now, Bethesda is, over this past weekend, has gone ahead and released a brand new video game in their line of gigantic AAA style of the role-playing games for consoles, including the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and PC. And for the record, Angel, just because they release it in PS5 doesn't mean that automatically makes the PS5 exist.
No, it means the PS5 has no games.
Exactly. It has no exclusive.
This is known. The sky is blue. PS5 has no games. Grass is green. Raiden kills people.
Now, the game is called Starfield, and for anyone who hasn't... Whoop, hang on. You guys weren't missing. There you go. Now, and for anyone who's got any sense, or if you don't really want to try to actually pay too close attention to it, if you know the Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls Online, take that, but make it space.
Put that bitch in space.
Like, that's it. Instead of magic and Middle Age and mythical races like, werewolves and freaking high elves and draugrs and all that sort of stuff, with a mishmash of Celtic and Nordic mythologies all coming together and somehow coming up with this beautiful, rich world that's buggy as all get out, but still rather enjoyable with its dedicated fan base, who over the years just doesn't know when to quit.
And boy, do they not know when to quit.
So take all that, make it space, and that's it. That's what you got. It's Starfield.
That's fairly understandable. It's just space, the Starfields. Okay. Honestly, that seems like the casual kind of thing that they drop. Also, this game was in development for like 10 goddamn years.
More like 7, apparently.
Trust me, I have my complaints about that too.
No, you're not. You're not.
Oh, yeah, no. By the way, before we began this, none of us owns the game, but I took the time to sit my ass down and watch like a 3-hour stream of it so I could make a proper, educated opinion of it.
We appreciate that, Angel.
Okay,
you're
good work, Angel.
For this. You're a point man for this when it comes to the actual inside knowledge on how the gameplay works. Unfortunately, since I don't know what gamer or what stream you watched, I won't be able to show folks this stuff as an example. But what I can show... Oh, also, hi there, Joanne. Welcome to the Black Files.
Hello.
Well, hello there. Welcome. Oh, my Lord in heaven. I am trying not to... Okay, I almost forgot to do a thing here. And there. Okay.
Local man forgets.
Now I remembered. Okay, so in all these forms of RPGs and these roleplay games, you have your player character that you can make in any multitude of ways. You can make them whatever height, weight, size, race, color, gender identity, freaking personality, what nationality from the inside universe you're from. You can customize your character to suit how the gameplay to your wishes however you want.
That is correct, because it is called a role-playing game.
You're not just there to be you. The escapism comes from being anything else you want to be if you want to be something other than you. Okay? Some folks who really don't want to put too much time and effort into it will just go ahead and make a character that's pretty much a proxy of themselves. Don't care. No muss. I'm not going to judge. I don't care. That's all right.
Listen, sometimes I need other me to be just like me. For real, for real.
Just like you, for real, for real. And I can totally appreciate that. And other folks want to go in a completely opposite direction. They want to make their player character as completely opposite of themselves as possible. Maybe they have some wish fulfillment. Maybe they want to actually, deep down inside, be a space alien pirating people and committing psychotic, massive war crimes in space. Who knows?
Hey, don't call me out like this.
I said some people. I didn't name you, Angel.
Yeah, the implication was there, sir.
You called yourself out there.
The implied implications by Blood the Implier from the land of Blalapia are already there.
God dang it. I love this man. Also, Michael Nothing made his way into the chat. Hey up, Michael Nothing. Welcome to the Black Files. He's saying, I play as ladies lately. Nice.
Nice.
See? Now...
So, the overall consensus seems to be, hey guys, in a role-playing game, you can play as another character, or you can play as yourself, or you can play as whoever you want to. So surely having more options in this role-playing game can only be a good thing. Yes?
Exactly.
It should be, yes.
What's wrong with you people?
Like, this is something to be celebrated.
Just want to say a little something. There is nothing...
Okay, but what if I just got really irrationally angry about that for no reason?
But why should we? This is a...
No. I'm going to get extremely goddamn angry about other people's choices in this role-playing game that I can make for myself.
Why?
I don't think you understand. I need to get monumentally, barking mad, spittingly, bloodshittingly angry about somebody else's decisions in this RPG that I could decide for my own. I know this game has problems, but I'm not going to get angry about any of the problems that this game has. I'm not going to get angry about the loading screens, or the crappy AI, or the horrible character customization, or the loading screens, or the terrible shooting, or the loading screens, or the lack of fast travel, or the loading screens. No. I need to get really goddamn angry about... Sorry about that, loading screen. I need to get really angry about the fact that you may call yourself anything besides him or her.
What? No!
That's it.
Oh my god! The
How
worst thing has
dare
happened.
you?
Have
You
a choice
goddamn
of
malformed Quasimodo of nature. Yeah, there you have it, people. This is what we're talking about.
This is the stupidity we have to talk about because, unfortunately, this is the fucking soup we swim in.
I can't believe that of all the controversies that this game would come out of all the stupid shit that Bethesda could put in here, this is the only thing that is dominating discussions right now. This. Of all this... I'm getting angry about how pointless this is all.
I know. It's wonderful, isn't it, Angel?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I got stuck on another loading screen.
Now...
What do you say?
What I'm trying to
I think Angel's stuck on another loading screen.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're running this bitch on like Windows OS.
Oh my god, you're running this joke to the ground. Come on.
Fucking Bista.
Now, I'm about to go ahead and show you guys the viral clip that launched all this stupidity, courtesy of I shit you not, this is what this guy calls himself on his Instagram over here. Yeah, he's on Instagram too. He's called heelvsbabyface.
That is his actual YouTube channel as well.
Calls himself a game commentator, streamer boss, MMO lover, and bullshit detector extraordinaire.
Well, I appreciate the honesty at least.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I can't trust someone who spells bullshit as two separate words.
That's because he's British.
So here's the stupidity, folks, and this has garnered at least 12.8 million views from the original post from some fanboy over here, Dan Vask. I'm not sure who this is. It's okay. Western gaming industry, adding a Y because apparently being homophobic is fashionable, apparently. With the Western gaming industry with the mighty heelvsbabyface. Here we go. I'm sorry to subject you to this, folks, but if I had to suffer, so do you.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda. There is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day. Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one-hived mind twat waffle. That's all you fucking are. And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
I love proper English. It's such a beautiful language.
So that was a whole, 5 or 10 minutes of shouting into the void?
That was 2 minutes and 37 seconds of my life I couldn't get back. And now neither can you.
Okay,
I
so 2.5
really
minutes of
don't
shouting
get
into
it.
the void.
Like, yeah, that stuff can come up as obnoxious sometimes, but is it really worth starting such a rant and basically exposing yourself to the worst of the internet like that? Because of all the things to complain about in the game, that seems like such a minor, inconsequential detail. Maybe I'm just taking this too easily. Maybe I'm just too old to care about this kind of crap. But I really don't see the reason to get angry about this. At worst, maybe slightly annoyed. I mean, like, does every character in the game just blast you with their pronouns the second you start talking?
No.
Or is this like a very rare thing? Or do they even mention it again when the game starts?
Like
At all?
No. Struggler is over here saying that this not what the real issue was. Then pray tell someone tell us what the real issue was, because this guy, when he was shouting that in here, he's literally saying it's fucking pronouns, fucking gender ambiguity. I'm like, what is it then? What made this guy rage quit so hard that he went ahead and returned to the game immediately afterward? Why the hell is he so pissed off at this thing if he's goes on this rant and then decides to just go back into the game screen? Does he continue playing? Is he going to continue fucking losing his mind on this game despite all this?
Because I really don't get it, man.
I don't understand either. I would like to know. I want context.
To be fair, though, I'm saying this because I am old, man. I am an adult. And so is that guy. And I reached a point in my life where, in between my responsibilities and the limited time I have to enjoy my hobbies, I have to be very careful about what I choose to waste my time getting angry about. Because if there's one thing I learned, much to my disdain, is that times have changed, and not for the better. The gaming industry that I once loved, as much as I wish it could go back to the way it was, it never will be. All I can do is enjoy the games that are still good and ignore the games that simply don't appeal to me. Not because I'm trying to be apathetic, but because I know that it cannot change this way, and it will not change this way. Only when people make their own video games that appeal to what they want and their own media, then we will see the things that we want to. But if you're relying on big corporation to provide you the escapism that you want, I hate to admit it, Mr. Heel versus Babyface, man, but you are going to walk out of this one disappointed. Because corporate only cares about the current thing. Hey, guys, you know what's pretty current? Multiple pronouns. Oh, no, it doesn't matter if most people don't use them outside of the bubble of the internet. That's what's in right now, so the big corporate is going to go for that. Why is that in the game? Because big corporate says that they need it in the game because it's going to attract demographic X, Z, and Y. And we are demographic A, B, and C.
It's going to attract the demographics.
Like, I get it, but I get it, but at the same time, I also get why it's just not worth getting angry about it. You know what I mean?
No, we know what you mean. And yeah, you said it better than I could say it. Like, yeah, you're right. The video gaming industry can't go back to the way things were, but shouting about it into the void while exposing your, intelligence and lack and ignorance and lack of intelligence and ignorance is not help.
All right, Jose, you keep cutting in and out, and I'm not sure why.
He keeps getting hit by the Starfield loading screens. I'm sorry, that was on me.
God damn it. Hang on a minute. Let me leave and come back in.
Yeah.
Now, while Joey's doing that, as you can imagine, the man has been a victim of massive mockery all over the place on the internet, with many people outright shouting him down, arguing back against him, throwing his points against him, making remixes of his argument. And honestly, I can condone all of those, but I will never condone the people that are making fun of his appearance, because he's at least trying to physically improve himself. And that is the one thing that I cannot deny of him, even if I wholeheartedly disagree with the level of volume required for this kind of complaints. You know what I'm saying?
Absolute density and critical mass of molding
of airwave agitation was somewhat unnecessary. Do you not think so?
Angel, this isn't a new situation either, by the way.
Alas, of course it isn't.
Like, folks, I don't know if you've noticed, but when it comes to the actual situation of character customization,
can you guys hear me?
Now we
much better now. Welcome back.
Yay! I was trying to say something meaningful, and yet tech issues fucking whatever, man.
It's okay.
You're not allowed to express yourself.
No, it's not okay. I'm being censored by our technical difficulties.
God damn you two trying to block the truth from us again.
By blocking the truth by my phone didn't like the session on Zoom, so I have to log out and log back in. Curse you!
How dare you!
But no, as I was trying to say, but while I was being cut in and out, like Angel had a point earlier, like, yeah, the video game industry is not the same, and it's not going to go back to the way it once was. And this guy yelling into the void, exposing his ignorance, is not going to help.
Well, here's the thing. He exposed himself in this situation over here. Also, Will Morris made his way into the chat. Hey up, Will Morris, the hardest working mod in all of YouTube. Welcome to the
Hello, Will.
He's saying a lot of YouTube is about disliking the things you used to like and ranting about your dislike.
That's kind of all that YouTube has become recently, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If you take a look at the algorithms and the number of views on different videos of the videos of focusing on what people hate rather than videos of focusing on what people like, yeah, the algorithm sucks.
It has become a never-ending combat between people complaining about stuff and then people complaining about the people complaining about stuff and then people defending the stuff they're being complained about. And it's just a constant war of complaints and complaints over things that are, honestly, I wish I didn't come off as the cynical man here, but these complaints are not going to change anything. And hey, on one hand, listen, if it gets you that advertisement money for you just sitting on front of your microphone and bitching about something for an hour straight, then go for it. Get that back, girl. But this didn't feel like a complaint. This felt like it was just my man was molding, seething and coping, some might even say.
Indeed.
Hell no. He'll be lucky if he could get sponsorship from Circle K or something.
Yeah.
Literally, okay. If I may, guys, I was actually trying to bring something up over here. First off, Miss Kim is asking over here, is the pronoun question just a click on the answer in the game? He's making it sound like it's a time-consuming thing.
No, it's literally an option that shows up near the end of your character customization. Pick whatever you want or don't. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, it's literally that. It's just like pick something or don't pick something. It doesn't matter. Just move on from there. That's all it is. I don't know if anyone noticed, but this sort of thing has been around in roleplay games for a long time. For example, over here, like, oh boy, like, one person over here, Makari on Twitter, like, oh boy, wait until he finds out about Pokemon. Like, oh, are you a boy or are you a girl? Oh no, we have to pick our gender. What if we pick a gender that's not the same as as in real life? Oh, that's the worst thing ever.
I wouldn't know what that is. I never doubted it myself. I just picked boy, and I call my rival ass eater.
See? Like, fucking, who cares?
This seems like such an inconsequential thing to complain about. And you know what the best part about this, how pointless this video is?
What's the best part?
The fact that it doesn't matter. And when I say it doesn't matter, I mean it. The game will simply call you by your biological gender instead, because this was basically a last-minute addition put in there by Bethesda because they want those sweet, sweet diversity points from the ESG, which are used to basically bump up their stocks and increase their value in the eyes of the investors.
Okay.
Not a single person in the entire company gives a shit about people's pronouns or otherwise.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Time the fuck out. Time right the hell out. You mean to tell me, in the pronoun selection, you have he, him, she, her, they, them.
Yeah, basically.
But in the actual gameplay, regardless
they just call you him or her. That's it.
It only ever refers to you as him or her. So,
yeah, that's it. The game never programmed NPCs to, like, give a shit.
So, in the actual gameplay itself, it doesn't actually do anything if you go by they, them.
It doesn't matter.
It won't matter.
It's just a stupid token gesture. It's arguably more insulting to people with different pronouns.
When you think about it, because actually more insulting because they could have at least
it doesn't matter
include it at the beginning, but they didn't.
In the iconic worlds of Carl from Aqua Team Hunger Force, it don't matter. None of this matters.
I understand your apathy, Angel, but I'm gonna have to replace your apathy in a moment with a little bit of fucking sense. I know it don't matter to you, but what matters to me is that the actual online discourse of this whole thing, like, oh, the pronouns are coming to kill us all. That stupidity is actually overwashing, overtaking, over-exaggerated to the point where no one actually bothers to look, hey, maybe there's actual issues in the gameplay or actual issues in the video game business as a whole that should be addressed instead of this bullshit. Now, let me ask you something.
Like, I get why they wouldn't use that in most games because, listen, that is like a million more fucking lines of dialogue they have to record. So they stick to the default to make it easier on the voice actors, the producer, and the time that it takes to develop a video game. This game took 7 fucking years to make, by the way. Just putting that out there. 7 goddamn years wasted on this myth fest for nothing. And of all the things to complain, this is it. So yeah, no, they basically go for the default because they never had time to reprogram or record any lines that weren't just default she, him, her, he responses. Because they literally went, okay, listen, we don't have time to do this. Just put that shit in there. The ESG will turn on the game for 5 minutes, see that it's there, give us the high score, call it a day. That's it. That's what this entire thing boils down to. And it essentially turns into, who cares?
All right. I understand, Angel. Your apathy is loud as fuck.
No. They are the ones saying, who cares? This entire thing means nothing. It shouldn't mean anything to anybody.
It really shouldn't, but the fact that you've got gigantic, loud-ass guys like heelvsbabyface domineering the conversation, making people care about this shit, is setting the terms of this conversation in a way that is a false equivalence. That's like...
Unfortunately, you are correct.
Matter. Like you're saying, it doesn't actually matter. What actually matters is the fact that, get this, like Angel said, this game took 7 years to make. Guess how much it actually ended up costing, folks?
How much did it end up costing? Okay.
Throw a number. Any number.
$70.
I'm going to guess.
Jose, were you trying to talk again? Because I couldn't hear you.
No. Angel threw in a guess. Angel, what was your guess?
I guess $70 minus taxes.
Okay, that's how much each individual game disc costs. And yes, I still refer to it as a game disc. I'm not downloading a fucking game. Physical media for life.
Okay, but Okay, but you're talking about how much it took to develop the game.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, how much money was spent on this?
Okay,
project?
I'll throw in the number. I'll throw in the number. This is probably a little too exaggerative. 100 million.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna throw in 200 million.
Angel, you're fucking
What?
right.
Oh, come on!
This game cost $200 million and had a 500-member dev team. Now, this is an article from Xputer. These guys know this shit better than I could ever hope to. I'm going to share the link for you fine folks. Hi there, Mr. Geek Me Out. Hi there, Mr. Geek Me Out. Welcome to the chat over here. Let me see. Struggler saying the real issue is the compounding of frequency of stuff like faux diversity like this, and not only video games but Western media. That is what he's mad at. Well, he's got a funny fucking way of showing it over here because it's the way he's presenting himself is making him seem as if he's trying to, as if he's only pissed off about the fact that pronouns choices exist at all in a video game where you can make yourself whatever character you want. But we're going to address that.
Well, I certainly understand his frustration on that matter. It feels like the way of expressing it, basically, it doesn't make him look like he's trying to make a point. It makes him look like he's basically losing his marbles. And that's no way to put people on your side. When you're like, it's like the moment you start yelling, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Your argument is lost because the crowd only cares about the fact that you're making a spectacle of yourself. Hey, maybe he had a good point. The fact that companies are basically using this stuff as a selling point instead of worrying about the quality of the game is a worrying trend that the Western video game industry really should address. But they won't. Because just as he said that, the immediate throng of people came out to defend the game, and the way he said it means that the overall public will not side with him.
Okay.
It's the point of being the only voice of reason doesn't count when you are too loud to people to understand your words.
It's not even, and the fact of the matter is, in his issue, he's not even really being the voice of fucking reason in all of it. Because if that's the case, then why is his breaking point apparently this video game? Why, like, oh wait, no, it isn't, because this guy apparently also had his issues with how the Hogwarts Legacy game had this put down as well, and he didn't have an issue with it then. But
why is this a problem now? I mean, it's not like the Hogwarts game is okay, it's not an open world game, but it is still a role-playing game. You play as a wizard. And, you know, you have your own adventures within Hogwarts and all that jazz. And
okay,
yeah, it's right there. What's the big deal? I am just so tired.
All right, Angel, I'm going to ask you to chill for a minute, Angel. You're being a little, you're dominating a little bit over here, but I want to try to help us focus. I want to try to help us focus here. He's over here trying to say that it's like the end of Western culture and Western media if there's a pronoun option or whatever the fuck. And even if he's got any sort of issue, the fact that he's puts himself down in such a diluted and like soundbitey version of it all isn't going to help him out at all.
Of course it isn't. He's basically making a TikTok about how angry he is. And I don't know you, but I never pay attention to people when they make TikToks.
I know. That's why you never visit mine, even though I make awesome ones.
I cannot. It's poison to my soul.
Now, here's an example. Like I said, the other another YouTuber over here, we've actually covered him before, the Actman. He's even gone on record to look up this guy's history. Even went and said, so I wanted to see what the guy who screamed about pronouns in Starfield thought about the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, and I was not disappointed. The hypocrisy is prophetic.
I will not be berated, bullied, intimidated into not playing a game because...
What was that, Angel? I was trying to play the actual video.
Oh, no, go ahead then. Never mind.
All right. Well, like after this 49-second thing, I'll put you back on over here. Give me a second.
I will not be berated, bullied, intimidated into not playing a game because you think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking pronouns! Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking gender ambiguity! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Goes against your ideology. Goes against your ideology. We can't see past our own fucking reflection!
Agree.
Okay, so I've got notes. I got some fucking notes over here, guys.
Mhm.
Okay, number one, yeah, the fact that he's going off on his mind over the fact that there's like options for different gendered pronouns is one thing, and that goes against what he believes ought to be in Western media, and yet here he is in the issue with the whole thing of the boycott of what was going on with Hogwarts Legacy because people are complaining that it goes against their ideology. So like pot and kettle with this guy.
Yeah, mind you, it's not as bad as the part that people were sending death threats and doxing others or making a goddamn website that were trying to track down who played the Hogwarts Legacy. That was right there, fucking criminal activity. But it is pretty hypocritical of him to say that. That is undeniable.
Now, the stupidity of all of this is what I was trying to get in on. I understand, Angel, the brownie points stuff of it, the performative cynicism with how corporations are trying to appease or trying to appeal to consumers who are either part of the LGBTQ community or who are non-binary and self-identifying or anything of the sort. That is an issue. And that is something that needs to be actually addressed on this shit because it is cynical, because it's bullshit, because these companies, these video game companies and like entertainment corporations, they don't really give a damn. They're just looking for the bottom line. The point that I'm trying to make is that this guy's performative violence, performative outrage. Why did I say violence? I meant performative outrage.
That's pretty close, yeah. I don't like performative violence. I want my violence to be genuine.
Is what frustrates the hell out of me on all this, because if this guy gets himself worked up in a tizzy on this shit, and then you see him immediately takes a second and goes right back to the game, it took him a minute to ramp up with his anger and all the shit. You noticed that in the original video, right, guys?
Do you think that this may have been performative?
That's what it is. Listen, I don't know if y'all know this or if I've ever had to whip out my credentials on this shit, but I'm not just a freaking member of the Ravens flock. I'm not just a tech guru. I'm an actual fucking filmmaker. I've been a writer for different like short stories, for different like web series. I've got an entire series almost written out. I think I've mentioned that with you guys some time ago. I've worked in independent films. I've worked in short films. I've worked in student films. I've worked in low budget films as well. And I know my way around not only production but also direction and acting. I had to start off as like a freaking extra for people in their high school films and in student films, or like actually acting the stuff out. I had to learn how to act. I had to learn how to actually get myself ramped up on this stuff. This guy took himself a hot minute to cut this promo on Starfield. If he was actually this enraged, if he was actually this upset over the situation of the pronouns of it all, or at least that's how he's presenting it to be, it wouldn't have taken himself this hot of a minute in order to get all amped up and all in his anger. And B, why the fuck did he go back to the game screen afterwards?
Yeah, you think that would be a good reason to just go, okay, I don't want this game. Quit, refund, call it a day, delete it. Remove it from your hard drive and call it a day. I mean, honestly, I would have been able to like bear to listen to that stuff if he actually had some like more legitimate criticism about the game. Because I gotta tell you, I got some legitimate criticisms about the game.
Which is where I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to you, Angel, because you've got the actual inside info thanks to the playthrough that you saw. Can you at least like point out who did this playthrough, this long play that you were watching, so I could try to refer to them? I don't like leaving.
Oh, I remember now. It was a video I thought it was Charlie. It was Penguin Zero, the guy. You know the guy.
Voice Critical.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. He played a bit of the game, and he gave his own opinion on it later on the line. And I'm like, let me see what this guy did. And I checked out the bit of the stream, and I'm like, yeah, all right. No, that makes some sense.
Okay.
So I checked out the gameplay from Voice Critical, and then another one. I can't remember the name of the guy. Sorry, he was like a new guy on the website. I don't know who he was. But ultimately, I was mostly paying attention to the game itself to see if I could figure out what's going on, because I don't like small issues to be game breakers, especially when it comes to big AAA titles like this. Because if you're going to drop $70 on this game, small mistakes can be forgiven, but you better give me my money's worth. And I gotta be honest with you, bro. I don't know why both sides keep going to bat for this. If you're looking for representation, the corpus will only give you the most artificial surface level shit. If you don't want representation in your games, every other indie out there will give you exactly what you're looking for. Or just, play Japanese games instead, if you feel like it. You know what? You want to know what my non-binary representation is? His name is C4621, and he's in Armored Core 6. The end.
Wait,
but I digress.
C4621?
That's the main character's name on Armored Core 6. He's a completely nondescript mercenary. So you assign him whatever the hell you want to, and no one says a damn thing. You know why? Because you're a fucking tool. A machine made to make money for the increasingly cruel and greedy corporations. We need that Coral one!
You know what that actually reminded me of? I'm sorry, you said C4621.
621. Yeah.
I immediately thought 24601 instead.
Okay.
24601!
All right, so going back to it.
My name is Jean Valjean, and I'm Javert. Do not forget my name. Freaking Les Miserables.
Do not forget me.
Oh, Le Franche.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the actual aspect. The game itself, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And this is the nicest thing I can say about it. It's not as broken as I thought it would be. Far less bugs than expected, far less issues in the actual game than expected, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. Maybe it's because this kind of game is not for me. I am not fond of open world games unless they are really interesting. But this game, it just doesn't feel like it's worth $70. For what I understand, and the issue is, there's barely any fast travel options. So you will find yourself running around increasing the empty space with copy and paste environments and copy and paste enemies. The gameplay? Oh, the graphics look fantastic. But ultimately, the gameplay just doesn't seem that different or groundbreaking as advertised. And the NPCs do the Oblivion thing. You know that thing when you talk to them, the camera goes to first person and their eyes just peer into the depths of your soul and look at your sins?
I think I know exactly what you mean, Angel.
Yeah, I hope you like that.
Into your soul. And they don't actually move their eyes or blink in any way.
I hope you like that.
Unnerving and how incredibly distracting that can be.
Exactly. Please, you just give me the quest. I just want to move on. So, yeah, the game itself is Oblivion in space, is Fallout in space, is Bethesda game in space.
It's Skyrim in space.
Thank you. Hell, they even reused some of the noises, like the dragon shouts. In some of the, so they remixed the dragon shout sounds in the engines of your ships. Speaking of, you know what? To give credit where credit is due, pretty decent shipbuilding simulator.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, it's just the same thing, and it has less features.
Oh.
NPCs do not react when you pull out a gun in front of them. There's less...
Sorry, when you were bringing up the spaceship creation, literally the moment that I saw people starting to talk about their playthrough of Starfield, naturally the Star Wars nerds went ahead and went for
Of course they did.
They went and built a Millennium Falcon, they went and built themselves an X-Wing, a fucking Star Destroyer. It was fun.
Oh, yeah. Dude, they didn't stop. One of my favorites is the one that just basically looks like a cargo ship. Every one of the containers is a different room. It's pretty fancy.
Nice.
And like I said, there is some good stuff in this game, but it's just bogged down by the fact that it's just what you saw before, but less. There's prettier graphics, but there's less detail. There's prettier graphics, but there's less... How do I put this? I don't want to sound like I'm being pretentious, but there's less soul in this game. And I figure, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing like the proper aspects of the game. And somebody actually told me, it's okay, it gets good later. And I'm like, okay, when does it get good? And the answer ranges from between 4 hours to 10.
Wait, what? Hold on, what does that mean? That it takes...
It means that it takes between 4 to 10 hours for the game to really open up.
What the hell?
Damn, seriously?
Okay.
It's an extremely long game, and it is nothing but tutorial after tutorial until you get to the open space area, and then it opens up, and you can start exploring different planets and finding new locations and run into more copy and paste. Because, my God, there is a lot of copy and paste. Like I said, It's not a horrible game. I wouldn't even call it a bad game sometimes. But it is Bethesda mediocrity. And it is the same Bethesda mediocrity that people have been trained to accept and admire and even cherish. And that's the part that saddens me the most, because this stupid complaint ultimately only serves to bog down the real discourse, which is the fact that, guys, this game is kind of fucking mid. It doesn't deserve $70. This is like 60 at best. Oh, and by the way, if you don't stall it correctly, that thing is going to start stuttering and crashing non-goddamn stuff. I hope you like crashing and stuttering. We got a lot of that over here.
Well, at least they managed to address that to a degree. Let me put it this way. For anyone who knows the line of Bethesda games, I mentioned the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right? One legendary meme that came to life in Skyrim is you can actually crash the game by spawning wheels of cheese in the game. You don't believe me?
Yeah.
Here it is, the famous photo. Someone actually loaded their room with 3,000 wheels of cheese, and if they loaded 50 more, the game would actually crash completely.
That's a lot of dairy, mate.
But lo and behold,
that is a lot of dairy.
Bethesda addressed this, Angel and Jose, in the most ridiculous ways possible.
Oh boy, what's their response?
Starfield, you can stuff your cockpit in the game with 20,000 potatoes, and
I know, I saw that little clip. So yeah, they increased the volume capacity. By the way, that's also the reason why this game is like a bajillion gigs.
Also, it shows an element of the actual physics of each individual goddamn potato. Because each individual potato isn't exactly identical to the other, they all have their own physics engine. Literally, this guy showed a playthrough of himself opening the cockpit door, and they all just roll out of the freaking door, and they're like tumbling. Thank goodness it's on Twitter. That way I don't have to worry about taking anybody's like monetization bullshit. I'm not bothering with that.
But yeah, fair warning, do not install this in certain consoles unless you have a lot of drive space, because this game is big in both the right and the wrong ways. To put it simply, it takes too long to get to the good stuff, and eventually you start running into way too much copy and paste, and by God, the loading screens. The amount of loading screens you're going to run into are insane. To put it simply...
Give me a second, Angel. I'm about to show folks the actual video of this person opening their cockpit to put a potato in their potato.
Cox.
Behold! Overflowing with potatoes galore. Matt Damon could have used all of these, and he would have survived on Mars with no problem. But no, we couldn't have that. I
don't think he wanted to survive.
He had to grow and farm his potatoes all on his own. But in Starfield, you don't have to worry about starving, because you can fucking put 20,000 potatoes in, and it won't even crash the game.
Just be wary of all that.
That's a lot of fun.
But yeah, you can basically do the usual effery with the Source engine to get some pretty humorous stuff. But the point is, getting to that point just takes too long. I think that the best description for this game, I forgot who said it. It was somebody on Twitter saying, this game is 10 miles long, but it's only 1 inch deep. The good stuff is there until you realize that the main quest is nowhere near as interesting as the actual show. Actually, you know what? Here's a good idea to tell you just how, middling the writing on this game can be.
Feel free.
When Baldur's Gate 3 came out, very little ago, everybody immediately fell in love with the characters, which makes sense because this is based on a D&D campaign. And one of the strongest aspects of some of the games that Bethesda makes is that the companions, your characters, there's usually at least 1 or 2 or 3 who are really, really memorable. In the time since this game has come out, I have not heard or seen anyone talk about the story or the companions that join you. The best I've seen is, hey guys, I explored this planet and I found this cool thing. And I'm like, sweet, that's the point of this game. How long did it take you to get there, though?
You know what would be nice? Maybe they ought to have taken as ridiculous as it's gonna sound over here, and you can smack me in the face later. Bethesda should have taken a page out of Mass Effect, out of EA of all fucking people. Hey, It might not be a gigantic open world thing, but at least the character relations that you have with your teams, with the people that you meet, is something that's substantive and helps affect the gameplay in an interesting and dynamic way. See,
yes, that would be a good idea. Unfortunately, they took a page from nobody. Well, apparently all the burning cleared a wall of ash, because I hope you like invisible walls too.
Invisible walls? What?
Oh yeah, well, obviously there is an edge to the map, can have you run through a whole planet. But apparently the invisible walls are far more numerous than expected. So, they took neither. And you know what the most amazing part about this entire mess is? Like, this is the part that really blew me away.
What is it?
There was another game that is currently available that took approximately 7 years to get to the point that it is right now. And it's basically this game, but better.
Which was it?
And cheaper.
Which game is this?
You're going to kill me, because I swear to God, many years ago, I righteously shit-talked this game forever. Do you remember No Man's Sky?
Oh my God!
Oh,
yes.
the procedurally generated game! Oh!
Yeah.
No Man's
So, not unlike Fortnite. And I took the time to watch the videos doing the comparison between both of them, and I was genuinely flabbergasted. Because not unlike Fortnite, if you were to turn on No Man's Sky now, it would look absolutely nothing like it started. So get this. I took the time to look into the whole history of the game after its disastrous launch and its well-deserved ass-reaming by the general public.
By the way, folks, if you want to see exactly what Angel's referring to here, there's this blessed meme of Doom video. I want to see if I can still find it over here. I don't think I can. Do you remember who?
Crowcat.
Who was it?
Crowcat.
Sorry, who?
I will send you the link. Crowcat. He's the one that made it.
Crowcat. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Crowcat. He is basically known for the guy that makes many people mold impossibly, because he makes the simple videos of, let me show you how cool thing was compared to how cool thing it is not. And I honestly don't know why people get angry at him, because he doesn't exactly take it out of context. There's a lot of stuff that modern games don't do right now that their previous iterations did very well. And at the end of the day, it's just goddamn excuses. But I digress. That video aside, and personal opinions of what he says aside, he doesn't say anything. So I took the chance to look at it. In the 7 years since No Man's Sky came out, and during the time that Starfield was being developed, No Man's Sky underwent 7 quality patches and 21 updates. And as of now, as of now, the game is basically everything that it was promised and everything that Starfield was promised. You can basically get into space within 1 hour of you fixing your ship, and the entire universe is open for you. They have different characters, buried quests, different factions that you can negotiate, trade, and fight against. An actual story mode, countless side quests, interesting side characters, and wait, the best part, a massive multiplayer hub where you can play all the quests with or without your friends. Also, dude, it kind of looks better. I'm not gonna lie.
Angel, hush for a minute. Fuck. Let me talk. First off, two things. I need to go take a leak real quick, but more importantly, we got Sarah Serenity Magical Cosplay. She's in the chat. She says she just got off from work and she's in literal pain. You guys are the main reason I'm laughing right now. Holy shit, Sarah Serenity. Dear. Much love to you, hon. Jose,
I am so sorry. I hope you get better soon.
You guys.
No, me and Angel will fill in while you go pee, Juancho. Go take care of your pee break. But Angel, please continue.
So somehow, and color me surprised, amazed, and blown away to hell, somehow No Man's Sky, instead of being abandoned by its company, like many games that end up bad did, they just kept working on it. And they just kept working on it and putting effort and developing on it. And I'm still not forgiving the shit they dropped us at first, but I am not so arrogant that I cannot recognize the effort to improve the self. And somehow No Man's Sky is everything Starfield promised. And listen, maybe this is just a matter of personal opinion, but it looks better. To me, it looks better.
Okay.
So far, I haven't seen too many locations on Starfield that really catch my eye. I haven't seen much to make it pop. In those 3 hours, I think I saw one area that had more than one primary color. And there's some good planets here and there. You just can't get to them until way later for some reason. And no Man's Sky just went, no, bro. Here you go. Open universe. Figure it out. Go wherever you want to go. And
That's
I don't know.
actually really good. Like that, the fact that they were able to turn it around from being a really bad game, and they actually, after they put effort to it, that's actually playable. People like it.
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know. Perhaps I'm being unfair, because Starfield just no, I'm not being fucking unfair. They had almost 10 years of development and a group of 500 goddamn developers. This is the part that angers me about this. This is what angers me, that the entire discuss about the stupid game, it has to do with the idiotic rant of this guy over something as insignificant as an option that they threw there at the last second because the ESG said so, and they didn't even bother programming for. Honestly, it would have been better if they didn't put it there because they clearly didn't give a shit. But at this point, the game has actual issues that should be addressed, and this is the part that kind of takes the wind off my sails because it doesn't matter. The game still sold. Bethesda has a very big thriving community that will defend them no matter how many stupid decisions they make. And maybe Todd Howard was right. Maybe it just works. Not in the sense that the game just works, or in the sense that just give them the same thing over and over and they'll just keep buying it. And at that point, what's even the point? They have decided what they want. So if this developer will never get better because they don't want to get better. So I'll just take my money somewhere else. That's the only thing we can do. The company will not give you what you want. Go somewhere else, find it somewhere else. Because here, they know exactly who they're selling to, and it's just not us anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. I know what you mean. And damn, dude, I'm sorry that the whole business model of the video game industry has left a sour taste in your mouth.
The general public is already accepted.
Sour taste in his mouth?
I do enjoy lemon drops. They are very sweet and tart. But I'm saying it on the lines of people are already starting to accept the fact that games are supposed to be $70. There was a lot of noise about it, but they went right there and they bought it anyway.
They're not supposed to be $70.
Well, too bad. They're going to turn into... Listen, just because games are going to be $80 next week doesn't mean you have to be such a sourpuss about it, Mr. Juan. Okay? I, for once, think that the $90 price tag is 100% reasonable considering the increased development costs. All I'm asking is that you waste $100 of your paycheck on a single AAA well-made video game. Surely this is not the worst that could happen.
The number's getting worse. Jesus, Angel.
I'm sorry, after close deliberation, I believe that $150 might be the most appropriate.
Okay, you need to chill with this shit. All right.
Oh, no, I'm not kidding. There's a rumor going around that GTA 6 is going to be $150. And you know what that rumor is?
What?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's basically trying to prepare us to when it actually turns out to be like 80 or 90 instead.
Bullshit anyway. No.
Oh, my God.
I ain't paying that
The
for
general
GTA.
public is already beginning to accept it. So I'm just going to do what I do when this kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
I realize that the industry will not listen. So I will take my money and I will go somewhere else. You know what I bought with my $60?
What did you buy?
I bought
What did you buy
Armored
with
Core
your
6. And it's freaking great.
Also, Corn Thaddeus Thy Third made their way into the chat. Hi there, Corn
Hello.
Thaddeus. They're saying you just got No Man's Sky 3 days ago. Pretty fun game. You should have seen it 7 years ago. It was disgusting. It
I
crashed
did.
all the time. It was fucking funny.
And I may rag on the company for the fact that they basically gave us incomplete crap, but I cannot deny the fact that they did go back and fix it. I mean, what company spends 7 years fixing their game and making it better? They genuinely deliver in literally every single promise and more. And like I said, just my prerogative, but I feel like it looks better. It has more color. It pops out a little better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the procedurally generated creatures in each planet don't all look weird as hell, like having little butt wings behind their ass cheeks and making their faces concave because procedural generation.
Thank you for reminding me. I have a fun little TDP to tell you about Starfield.
Oh, God. Also, Jen Pearson's in the chat. Hey up, Jen Pearson.
Hello,
Dear
Pearson.
Lord.
You're going to love this.
Okay.
So, they
else?
said that in order to generate the NPCs, they took features from, real life captures of children, men, women, old people, young people, and mixed and matched to make, the NPCs that you see.
Right.
There's a small problem with that, Mr. Juans.
Don't tell me.
Young people, children, and old people look very different. So when you mix and match, and the engine doesn't really give a shit beyond the basic formula,
Okay, folks, do you know Akira? Do you know the awesome epic anime motion picture film Akira, where you have where you discover that where they discover that there's a group of children who have psychic abilities who have been experimented on, and they look like little 9-year-olds who have the faces and freaking bodies of withered 90-year-old people? Is that what
they look like they're made of mystery meat. It was so bizarre. Let's put it this way. I paid attention. I counted every time a conventionally attractive NPC showed up. I found 2.
2.
Yeah. Also, this is the reality with the entirety of the projects went to space, because 99% of the population is black or very, very dark brown. And I'm like, wow, really? I mean, cool, but
okay,
is that what happened to all the Germans or the Japanese?
I've got a
the
theory
Europeans
on that, and you're probably going to hate me, but you're also probably going to laugh your dick off.
I'm listening.
South
the
Park predicted this.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Hear me out. If you remember, they had this one famous episode of human beings from the future traveling back.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah. Exactly like those ones.
And they like, oh, wow. So it appears as if the human race has gone through hundreds of years of different cultural melding to the point where all human beings are a single ethnicity, race, and there's no language barrier. This is actually incredible. But the human language is it's like,
yeah, that's basic. Oh yeah, funny you should mention the human language. The algorithm tends to remix the personalities, and there's only so many. But apparently, for some reason, it kind of keeps repeating. So every time you go to a certain location, every single spaceship captain behaves exactly the same. I hope you like sassy, strong, independent lady that don't need no man, because for some reason you're going to see like 11 of them in a row, and they all look the same, and every single one is ambiguously brown. And I'm like, so, what? Where did you come from? Like, what part of where?
So,
help.
Like, at the same time, there's so you can have, like, all these, you have the sameness in terms of potential racial melding in the future, which I don't have a problem with. And if you do have a problem, you're fucking horrible. But, like, that's a fucking sci-fi thing that can happen anyway. But at the same time, the fucking system doesn't provide for diversity of personality, so you literally have copy pasta of the same kind of person. What, do they have like
by the way,
different jackets,
my personal
different
favorite
colored pants or something at least? Tell me they
sometimes have... Yeah, the factions. Like, for example, the most violent gangs are the Spanish and the black ones. Wait. So anyway, oh yeah, no, I don't know if this was it was totally on purpose, but there is obviously criminal factions. And so far as I can tell in the game, the Spanish and the black ones are the most dangerous ones. And I'm like, huh.
Oh, see?
If I speak, I will be suspended. If you want to
actually have a problem with the game, that's a fucking problem.
Oh, no.
So what you're telling me is that Starfield took place into a world where the white genocide did come to happen. So nothing but diversity went to space, except that all the diversity looks exactly the same. But wait. Is it really diverse if that's the case? Is this the cruel paradox of Starfield?
And that's kind of fucked up. It's insane.
Oh man.
So yeah, God. the game has actual issues, both intentional and unintentional. So this is a very small drop in a very big bucket. We really should have dedicated this time, like the public in general, should have dedicated the time to find what's good and what's bad about the game. And listen, man, if you don't like it, that's fine. But this is the way the Western industry is working right now. It is not going to change unless it stops making money.
Like, here's the thing, though, Angel. Folks who are already predisposed to seeing what they would like in the game, or to find in the game. They'll buy the game and they'll find out for themselves. At that point, that's when people will start getting their decisions on whether or not it suits their taste or it was worth the money. But you want to know the real kicker? You probably already know the punchline on that. Jose. You'd probably know the punchline on this too, don't you?
Probably, but go ahead.
Listen to the words I said on here. Folks who want to know about this game will buy the game and then play it.
Yes.
And then, afterwards, after having their experience with the game, they'll find out whether or not it's worth the money or suits their taste or if it's worth their while. But
Doesn't Steam have like a 2-hour refund policy? I figure like 2 hours would be a good way to know whether you like the game or not.
But that's the punchline there, Angel. You just hit it. And Jose,
yeah.
laugh along with us. You have to buy the game first.
Yep.
What it's about.
And that means that the sale still counts, and the company stocks go high.
Fucking counts.
So the answer is pirate everything, then decide whether you want to buy it or not. Like,
Yo-ho.
Companies are making it so pirating is no longer an option; it is now a moral obligation.
God Almighty!
Amazing, isn't it?
Folks, let's get some pirate flags up. Angel's clearly hoisting his colors with pride here. So that's your pride flag, Angel. Your pride flag.
Been sailing the seas me. Yeah, because I am proud of crime time.
Of high seas crime.
High seas crime time. I am not a pirate.
Angel's a different kind of pirate. You know, like Luffy.
Yes. Yes. No, I'm down with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I wish I could be as charismatic as Luffy, but I'll just settle for being as violent as he is instead.
Good grief. You're not
you
wrong.
can try to be as violent as Zoro.
Like, the guy does get a lot of his problems solved with violence, and that's funny, but then, again, that's shown in there for you. Like,
to be fair, you kind of need to apply violence sometimes. In a world filled with corrupted nobles and evil marines and psychopathic pirates, like... Also, I always find it hilarious how people keep saying that Luffy is some sort of revolutionary, even though A, Luffy himself made it clear that he doesn't care about revolutions, he just wants to be free and follow his dreams. And B, of all the antagonists that he fights, about more than half of them are evil pirates taking advantage of people. Like, it seems to me like the actual lesson of One Piece is like, you don't have to be a noble to be a piece of shit. You just need enough power, anybody can turn into a piece of shit.
Exactly.
It's also the other way around, surprisingly.
Even higher moral from there. It's an even higher moral from there. It's like, just because you have that power doesn't mean you have to be a dick. You could use that power and just have fun.
Fun fact, you actually did in fact are correct.
Let me double check on something over here in the chat. Oh yeah, Struggler was saying that old children, goobacks. Yeah, that was the South Park thing. That sounds nightmarish.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds nightmarish if you want to look at it as like, oh, there's no racial diversity anymore, and like that can be an issue. Where
they took it away, but they just put it the other way.
And from there, it's just a matter of like, but then again, other folks can look at that as like maybe utopia. Like, we're finally united as one race, as one people. We shouldn't have any more racial problems anymore, and that would be a good thing. Which is a fine example, which is what South Park was trying to go for. And then you hear the one language of the people of the future, and it's
guys, this is super gay. This is like really gay. Okay, back to the gay pile.
Everyone go back to the gay pile. No. Yeah, I
See,
remember that.
That's it. Juan, you're making an excellent point, except for the fact that the game itself refuses to let you make a good point. Because there is barely a single person of fair skin in the entire game.
That is so
and
bizarre.
that makes me ask some questions.
So Coristi's throwing up her pirate flags over here. She's laughing her head off.
Yeah.
Sarah Serenity saying Angel sounds like Dracula trying to be Italian. It's funny.
Hey, I am not trying a damn thing. If I look down my family tree, I'm gonna find a bottle of sarsaparilla sauce somewhere.
Sarsaparilla sauce? That's not Italian.
No, that is Italian now because I invented it.
Oh my God, Angel, you're not Chris Jericho. Don't invent Canada. And she says, "I'm not giving up on Alice Asylum," and she's saying she just showered. Okay. Fantastic. You had a long day of work. Sarah
Sometimes you gotta relax.
Yeah, no, for real. Like it's some folks like to relax with like scented candles and meditation stuff. Others like to listen to 3 a-holes in front of a camera complaining about what actual problems there are in a video game instead of this bullshit that like performative jackasses like Heels versus Babyface fucking does and fucking dominated the subject. Good Lord.
It's insane. Like the fact is not just that he dominated the subject because he's a well-known and popular YouTuber. It's because his detractors have also dominated the subject. And now every single discussion criticizing the game it doesn't start because that's become like the nexus of stupid around which all the bad opinions float now. And nobody, like, dude, seriously, I see more whining about this. I see more complaining about his complaints and his complaints about his complaints that I've seen people actually praising the game, which is a shame because I've seen people post some beautiful shots of snowy planets covered in enormous forests and these beautiful multicolored canyons of mysterious minerals. And I'm like, yeah, see, that's cool. I want to go explore those mysterious lands. People should be talking more about this. Why am I running into another invisible wall?
Oh.
Why am I stuck in a loading screen? What do you mean it takes me 12 hours to get to this point?
Oh, no. Oh, God. You're going to love this, Angel. There was an actual freaking person. I think we actually covered this. Or no, we probably didn't. On August 29th, there was a freaking person who was complaining that there's terrible graphics in this game in fucking Starfield. And I'm going to show the article for you folks because it's on futurism.com. The actual photo is like the actual like image that was shown. The actual image that was shown was actually like photos from the Mars rover. So there's actual real photographs of Mars.
And somebody went, no, it doesn't look that good.
Exactly. The guy complains images from video game look bad, but they're real NASA photos of Mars. Yeah, so this guy was actually going like, oh, well, this doesn't look like let's wait for the final gameplay. What's showing up isn't pretty. Yeah, and it's in the article here. But as it turns out, the images were actually photos taken by NASA's Perseverance rover on the surface of Mars, not from Bethesda's upcoming action RPG. Oh, God. Let me take a look over here.
By the way, I'm watching more gameplay of Starfield as we speak. And, another thing, it's also like a first-person shooter / game. So, oh, God, every fucking time those NPCs look at me. Oh, the amount of detail on their faces makes it worse. Because the eyes are so detailed right now. Which is weird because the eyes are detailed, but their hair looks like a block of Play-Doh.
What the
Jesus,
hell?
man.
It is like this very weird combination of like, okay. The NPCs of Starfield look like they put a lot of effort on certain parts of their faces, and then they just left the rest to, like, go.
Dear God.
The actual space flying looks cool, but don't expect any actual fast travel.
No.
You're going to waste a lot of time going from one place to another.
I saw one person's actual...
Oh, God!
By the way, Angel, there's value in stuff on TikTok, just like there is on Tumblr. So, yes... puddle of shit with nuggets of gold hidden somewhere, but take it for what it's worth. Someone actually took their ship in Starfield and flew straight towards the planet Pluto. Guess what happened?
They exploded?
No, they flew straight through it.
Oh,
the image of the planet Pluto.
Oh yeah, it's just a JPEG.
It was just a JPEG.
Yeah, fair warning. There's a lot of basically empty space because, let's be honest, rendering all that shit would take forever. Oh, so by the way, fundamental fact.
Pluto, you can't do anything. It's not even really fucking there. So that is a worse way of reinforcing the whole thing of Pluto not being a planet, man. That's some bullshit.
Oh, it gets better.
What's up, Angel?
Despite all its improvements on technology, this game is still using the creation engine, aka this is the same engine that they did Skyrim with. So if you haven't seen too many bugs yet, it's because they spent the time to tune them off, but it came at the expense of everything else, aka bunch of planets you can't go to. So the open world is only as open as they allow it to. Not that you would care much, but yeah, dude, it's sci-fi Skyrim with guns. Not much has changed. Many of the enemies have the exact same animation. When your character switches to third-person mode, you run exactly like the Dragonborn. It's asset reuse, which is all well and good, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am not being blown away the way I was advertised. This does not. My money is not coming out of my wallet. I do not feel the need to spend $70 on this. If this is your thing, if you're having fun, then by all means have your fun. But this has less than what they put out before, and they're just gonna keep using this as the model. Less and less and less. That's all they do. That's Bethesda, baby.
Yeah, no, that's...
I don't know what you were expecting, but that's Bethesda.
No, I understand, actually, man. It's copy and paste, put a new fresh coat of paint.
Fucking Christ.
Put in some
This dude's beard looks like it's lather like shoe paste on his face.
Also, Sarah Serenity was trying to put a comment in the chat regarding Alice Elysium. When I say Elysium, I mean Asylum. Alice Asylum in EA Games.
Yeah.
How EA Games kept screwing over trying to get that game produced over here. And she wanted us to try to bring it up sometime in the future episode. I want us to look into that because that looks like...
Oh, that's right. Alice. Oh my God, Alice Asylum. What a tragic tale.
I mean, that's something we could look into.
I will speak with you guys about that one on Saturday, but fair warning, it is not a story with a happy ending.
No, I understand. It's pretty screwed up, and it's
what hurts the most about Starfield. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was trying to say, like, it's seriously, it's sad what happened with the game. I remember being told about it, but putting it simply, it's tragic, folks. Some games did not deserve, like, this game deserved to bake in the oven another 3 years at least, so that all this shit can actually be ironed out properly. But this poor thing died in, like, the incubation tube, man, and it's so fucked up.
They tried to make it work. And you know what? The part that makes me sad? I'm looking at the gameplay still, and there is some genuinely beautiful vistas and graphics here. But all it reminds me is, oh yeah, I saw this in Fallout. It was just more brown. Oh hey, I saw this in Skyrim. It was just more gray. It's the creation engine. It's copy and paste, slap a coat of sci-fi paint over it, put some diddly-doo-dah numbers on it, and call it a day. It's not bad, but it is not the extraordinary, groundbreaking, like jizz in your pants amaze fest that I was expecting. This was not worth the wait.
It's the new standard.
The what do you call it? The wonderful pizzazz and shebangs that they've got for what they advertised and what they got into. It's the problem that you have with Big Macs and Whoppers, right, guys?
Yeah.
In the commercials.
Yeah. The picture versus the actual burger.
Fluffy and big, and the meat patties are so thick and it looks juicy and everything looks symmetrical. You open it up in the actual box, it's smushed in, and there's lettuce everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. It's literally expectations versus reality. Mind you, I'll still eat the Whopper. It still has some tasty bits here and there, but we know it could have been better. We know it should have been better, and this seems to be just a recurring program in the Western game industry, that they know that they can get away with dropping incomplete, unfinished, flawed product because who cares? Here's another 50 gig patch to fix the problems.
Okay, the whole thing with how these guys are not actually working on properly working out the physics of their planets and stuff, and making some of the planets in Starfield just set dressing. It's even dumber because there are people who take that same argument and they don't actually fucking work on it thoroughly over here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sarah Serenity was even talking regarding Alice Asylum. EA fucked over American McGee and refused to fund the game or give the rights back. People are still fighting to get Alice Asylum back to her. Yeah,
that's the worst part that gets me. Like, they're not even giving the rights back. Like, what are you going to use them for? You're not making anything with it.
You're
you
not
piece
doing
of shit.
anything with it. It's just owning it for the sake of being able to own it.
Because it increases the stock value.
Oh, fuck off.
That's why.
That. Getting to what's happening in Starfield, Actman, again, he points out the stupidity on this. I think you saw this tweet earlier. It was on August 29th. The tweet over here, he's acting as if someone being pissed off about the game. Like, God damn, I really hate Starfield, and it's shuffles deck, pulls out card. Scientifically accurate depiction of planets and physics. Because there are people complaining that you can't go to the gas giants of our
now
space.
That one deserves plenty of mockery. Like, of all the things the game got that accurately, you can't go to a gas giant. It's a gas giant!
It's literally a gas giant! There is
no
surface! Look,
local man really angry he cannot fly into the sun.
Like, it's like in here, like, you cannot go to these planets because exploration was a lie. Jesus, it gets so much worse. And someone in their chat, like, those are gas giants, though. Nowhere to walk on. Why not? It's a video game with alien creatures and jetpack and spaceship shake like robots. Why is the line drawn on gas giant exploration? Okay, you want to know what happens if you actually go into a gas giant? Angel, Jose, do you remember your basic astrophysics? Do you remember your basics? What happens if you go into a gigantic gas giant like Jupiter or Saturn? What happens to your ship?
Well, you will be torn apart by winds moving at literally hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, because the only way that all those gases remain around the core is because of a huge amount of influx of gravity, which creates super hurricane force winds. For example, the eye of Jupiter... No, that too. The eye of Jupiter is a hurricane that is literally bigger than the Earth. It's been spinning for hundreds of years.
And it ain't gonna slow down anytime soon. And you're right. The gravity well alone would would crush you like a twig. You guys remember the Ocean Gate Titanic sub? That?
Yeah!
Just...
In space, nobody can hear you crunch.
Fucks. Yeah, crushed into a diamond. Oh, dear Lord. No. Oh, God.
You think that they would complain about the JPEG planets instead? That's a legitimate complaint.
Yeah,
like, hey, I was promised I could visit
complaint.
planets, but I flew to the Windows XP wallpaper instead. That would make sense.
Like, that's an actual complaint. Like, okay, I made the fucking joke. Like, okay, you just fly straight through Pluto. It doesn't appear anymore. Not even the moon of Pluto, Charon. You can fly.
Oh, come on. Not even the moons.
Not even the moon of. No, there's one moon of Pluto called Charon. And you can't fly to it either, because I guess Pluto's not a real planet. So
damn, why they gotta do my boy Pluto there like that? Listen, I may have my problems with Disney, but Pluto has always been a good boy. He deserves respect.
He does.
Remember that episode of Hercules, the animated series, where Hades is like, they call me Pluto? I wouldn't even call my dog Pluto.
Oh, that's what he deserves. Freaking James Woods. Oh, Miss Kim was they're throwing jokes in the chat over here as well. Sarah Serenity, she has 4 panels at Phantasm or Orlando next week.
Hey, congratulations. So, we might actually swing by there and get to see you in person, in fact.
Excellent. And Sarah Serenity also said, I'll be able to 100% relax when I'm rich, famous, and I have Tom and Norman both in my bed. Wow.
Damn, girl. You know what? Aim for the stars.
Yeah.
I think this has actually boiled down to you actually nailed the main crux of this issue. It's not the fact that people are complaining. I mean, let's be honest, it's the internet. People will complain and make a spectacle of themselves. It's that there is genuine problems to complain about, and they are being overshadowed by these, I don't want to say inconsequential, but I'm just going to say these complaints are kind of silly, brother.
Like,
they are kind of buffoonery.
It's chicanery of the silliest order and the silliest design, but because it's chicanery that appeals to the lowest common denominator of people complaining about dumb shit like, oh, the wokes are woking up my wokes. Like, guess fucking what? Wokeness ain't a thing. It's been around, and you're fucking like trying to fight against the tides of time. Shit changes. Cultures change. It's not gonna fucking solve anything. Even Actman made fun of this fucking dude by putting him in a little video of the virgin Starfield hater versus the average Chad Starfield enjoyer.
Nice try, but I had depicted you as a Sojak and myself as a Chad.
Well, folks, I think the answer is simple. I think we need to launch a nuclear missile and we gotta destroy the woke.
No,
sounds like a good idea.
Stop it.
Get me the Pentagon. I have any idea. Listen, there's this thing called the SAR Bomba. I know you haven't heard of it. It's a very, very niche kind of explosive.
I've heard of SAR Bomba, and no, we do not.
It's kind of a niche explosive, very underground.
Oh my God!
I've seen
what
happened in that freak accident. In that, no, you reminded me of. You mentioned the SAR Bomba, but my mind went to that horrible explosion that went off back in 2020, I think, in Lebanon. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, where it was
really cool.
It was literally a fireworks freaking thing and ammonium nitrate storage and fertilizer facility. It was like boom. It was like
literally exploding shit.
No, like it was literally it's the biggest explosion you could get short of an actual nuke, and it was horrifying. But you mentioned SAR Bomba, which is an actual nuke, the largest bomb ever made, but for some reason the visual gave me that in Lebanon, which was horrible, and I'm hoping the people are okay. That's not the point. The point is, we're not going to blow up the problems. It's not going to work, Jose. I'm sorry, Angel. I know you want stuff to burn.
Damn it!
You don't actually get too much burning with the explosion. The explosion sets off a fireball, but it's really the concussive concussion damage of the actual blast that does the damage. You're not going to get a lot of fire. I'm sorry.
Damn. Sorry, Angel. I tried.
I guess I'll just have to go to Starfield and see if there's a way to blow up planets. What do you mean there isn't, Todd Howard, you fucking hack? Once again, you disappoint me. Oh, by the way, we are not alone in this particular case. As of now, the flaws of Starfield are becoming somewhat apparent. Normally, I don't like to rely on stream metrics, but despite the fact that Baldur's Gate came out later than it did, and Starfield had years, and I do mean years upon years of, hype, the power of early access cannot be denied. As of now, Baldur's Gate, 363,000 concurrent players. Starfield, despite being the hot new thing, only 250,000. So it looks like the flaws are unfortunately becoming more apparent the more you play it. Mind you, the game just came out, so we don't know what other stupid tricks Todd has under his sleeve, but while that is a very good number, it is not a number that fills me with a lot of confidence.
Is that what are you kidding me? Is
Yeah.
this a joke? Oh
No.
God.
Well, it is, depending on how funny you find it.
Oh my Lord in heaven.
So yeah, the fact that the game, even though it came out at the hottest time, is already losing to a game that has been out for several weeks in both character writing, quest progression, and gameplay. Guys, it's just another Bethesda game. It has all the problems every other Bethesda game ever had, and it has all the virtues and tragedies. It's Bethesda. You've been giving them money this entire time, and they've been giving you the exact same thing this entire time. If they gave you the exact same thing again, who can you blame but yourself?
There's only so many times that you can trip over the same rock before it stops being the rock's fault.
Like the rock is just there, man.
Yeah, let me take a look over here in the chat. Okay, they're still talking about anyone else wonders if it's called gas giants because of farts. I wish, hot.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah.
When God had a mighty shit after the most powerful taco night ever made, he let it rip in the most powerful way possible, and that was the Big Bang. And that's why they're called gas holes.
The what do you call it? The prevailing actual astrophysical theory is that Jupiter and Saturn were supposed to be another star, but our sun was bigger and more badass and said screw you to Jupiter and Saturn, and they broke off, and that's how they're staying as gas giants.
The Virgin Planetoids versus the Chad fucking star.
God almighty.
Nice try, Planetoid, but I depicted you as a soy sphere. You will now orbit around me, simp.
You need the Chad meme guy, who's apparently a real person, dear God. You invited Todd to the cookouts at Corn Thaddeus. No, we didn't. We're not inviting Todd to no cookout.
When you think about it, isn't the classical image of the sun normally given a masculine Chad face? Like, you know, that theatrical version of the sun, the human sun?
Oh, God. I'm over here remembering, like, that weird...
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
the sun with the human face. It's a golden... It's an alchemic symbol. But yeah, he's usually given, a really smug or very serious Chad face.
Let me take a look over here. It's not really a Chad face per se, but let me actually pull it up because I actually found it, what you're talking about. And your mileage may vary on this, but it's like this. It's a very neutral face. And, oh, God. No, there's a... Okay, that's horrifying. Okay,
it's normally either very neutral or very smug.
Okay, this face is actually endearing. The baby son of the Teletubbies.
That doesn't count. That was before he hit puberty and he decided he was the best solar system.
That was a girl, by the way.
Well, that's a different son. That one exploded. That's why Teletubbies are not around anymore. They were the first victims of the sun's expansion.
She actually grew up kind of pretty cute over here. So that's
that would be the other difference. That's an alternate son. That's the son that is usually shown as a big mom.
No, it's all right.
Mom's son.
Yeah, well, she is a mom, and that's fine. And good
Red
for her.
Son.
And good for her. Red Sun. Angel, we're not Kryptonians. No matter how much you may want to...
Red Sun over paradise.
Good grief. This needs to
I'm just saying I would cosplay the hell out of General Zod.
I mean, you could do it. I could see it.
It's called you walk around wearing black all the time, and you want to find people to beat them up.
No, he just wants.
And what are you going to do, Juan? Send me to the Phantom Zone.
Okay, if
that's his room. Join your own timeout.
Then here's the thing. That means I've got to Jor-El your ass, and I have to Russell Crowe you, singing songs and righting wrongs and fighting around the world. Oh wait, Jor-El died, didn't he?
I'm going to fight cancer. Beats the shit out of a cancer patient.
Actually,
Juan, you die on arrival.
You'll beat your face in.
You know what the funniest thing is, though? In the anime Hunter x Hunter, one of the main characters, Leorio, developed a technique that allows him to coat the energy of the world in his fists, and he's a doctor, so he can literally learn to punch out cancer.
Oh my God, what the hell? Seriously?
It's a fun little series.
Oh my God.
And then the massacres begin.
Ouch. Dark.
Yeah.
Good God. Yeah, no, there's the big... Oh God, Struggler was just freaking going nuts over here with with what we were talking about, the face of the sun. And Sarah Serenity is still going nuts. She wants you to cosplay an Italian Dracula, carry out a bloody plate of spaghetti and meatballs. I want to drink your sauce.
I want to drink your sauce.
Because apparently she thinks he sounds like an Italian vampire.
This is the second person who ever told me I sound like an Italian. There was that one guy that told me like I sounded like the main character of Assassin's Creed.
It all comes full circle, Angel. You sound like a vampire, and I look like a vampire.
And I talk like a vampire because I'm cultured and knowledgeable.
Man, we should do like the fusion dance one day.
Oh God, does the fusion?
And then we'll turn it. Then we'll turn into Alucard's dad from fucking Castlevania.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Italians, Romanians, same damn thing at the end of the day.
Yes. Also, apparently, Sarah Serenity is wondering whether or not she should eat dinner. Fucking eat your food.
Yes, you should eat,
not
please.
Up for discussion.
Non se fore questo il destino del modo. Divorate pasta e consumare sugo.
Don't make me come out there. All right? I don't know where you live, but I know people who do. Eat your food.
Eat.
God almighty.
Non farmi venire la furia scutanati.
Don't be irresponsible.
Angel's actually speaking Italian now. I'm scared.
I just said what you said in Italian, that's it.
Dear Jesus, Angel, what the hell? How dare you?
Use Google Translate.
No, I'm not. I'm using the voice of my soul.
So Google Translate, because, yeah, okay.
Listen,
let's not kid ourselves.
The only thing you need to understand is that nessuno può sfuggire al destino se è stato il seno del toro. Tutti osano rimare le spine d'ore per tiri. La grandezza eterna esiste solo dentro di me. Canta con canzoni d'olore un mondo del cui il tempo si è svanito.
Fuck.
Yeah, but that being said,
I wish I hadn't forgotten all my Italian.
King Crimson!
Juancho, don't be surprised. I forgot all my French.
Well, to be fair, it's very easy to forget French. It sounds like you have a fruit stuck in your neck.
So,
I'm sorry, when I was a child, every time I heard French, I said, this man is choking very elegantly.
God almighty, Jesus, dude.
But that being
Matthew
said,
Kober made his way in. Like,
yeah.
You notice how we did our best to take our time here, folks. We went in and we cut through what was actually wrong with the fucking game. There's myriad of different problems.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta tackle the actual issues. Because otherwise, people get lost in the little details.
The whole pronoun shit, the wokies are woking my woke. That's a distraction, man. It's a fucking distraction. It's a Jabberwocky. It's an albatross. It's a fucking. It's a fucking.
It's bait.
It's a goose chase. It's a goose egg. It's not.
It is a goose egg.
It's expert bait, and I fear the world has fallen for it.
God almighty.
Pretty much, man.
That being said, it is 11, like more past 11:30, gentlemen. I apologize for cutting and running, but I got to work tomorrow.
Well, considering that we're actually going to start wrapping up over here anyways, Angel.
Okay.
I was actually going to say, like, the real actual issues happening in the world of the video game industry. Like, what I wanted to talk about, what I was hoping to God that I would get some news to talk about, is whether or not the strike authorization went through with SAG-AFTRA regarding the expanding their strike, not just in movies and TV shows, but also to the video game industry. There's an article from Deadline that came in today after we already decided what the hell I was going to talk about, making me look like I got egg in my fucking face. Go figure. Deadline, these creeps. SAG-AFTRA says dual strikes against video games and film/TV industry, quote, makes sense as key issues of wages and AI mirror each other. Okay, so that's not an actual saying that the vote actually went through or not, but it's saying that there's enough sense, that there's enough logic to actually go ahead and include the video game industry as part of the strike. There's
speaking of which, you know what, Angel, were you able to find anything on that subject?
Sadly, it's kind of been a blank. Aside from what we spoke to the last week, it's just been kind of we're working on it. But it makes so much sense when you realize, guys, look how big video games have gotten so far.
$200 million on Starfield.
They are more profitable than TV.
$8 million.
Like, they are more profitable than television, And like many other forms of entertainment media, video games are genuinely one of the biggest, most profitable forms of media ever to exist. So yeah, no, they belong into hell. They should have been here faster. But they of all things, I like to think that they will be included. Unfortunately, yeah, I looked, but I haven't found anything consistent beyond what Juancho just told us a moment ago.
Like it's literally all that we've got all on there for the moment over here, and it's like I'm worried about whether or not that actual vote is going to expand and exponentially work out the strike and make it worse or not. I'm hoping that this will actually come to a resolution before it gets to that, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon because the fucking like movie industry and TV industry, those guys, fucking Bob Iger and David Zaslav, the two biggest CEOs, the biggest, highest paid ones, are literally saying like, well, look at you. You guys are making us have to write off $50 million in order to, I mean, like $500 million in losses because of you. How dare you? When it takes like maybe 47 million to actually
I was about to mention that, yeah. They're about to waste $500 million just to stay where they are.
Like, and they're doing that as part of their SEC filings coming up with the government so that they don't actually have their stock tank in the fucking toilet like they deserve. So they're saying like, oh, this writer's strike is making us lose $500 million. Look how mean the writers and actors are. They're being very selfish. When if they really wanted to fucking solve this, it would only cost $47 million to meet all the demands. Fuck!
No, we can't do that, Mr. Arouse, because if we do that, then because according to what the guy on Netflix said, is we agree to their demands, then we might have to agree to other equally reasonable demands. And I will burn this entire company to the ground before I have those some humans tell me what to pay them.
Wait, what guy on Netflix? David Zaslav?
I think that one of the heads of Netflix outright said that they did not want to like give in to the demands of the worker because then they would have to give in to other equally reasonable demands from the worker. Dude, this is the level of stupid oblivious that you see in cartoons. This is Mr. Smithers.
This is the hill they want to die on.
Truck.
Excellent.
God damn it!
It's basically what I'm seeing here. These people are so out of touch. They're out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around. Pointing case. Dude, think about it. $500 million. That is $500 million. Imagine the amount of shows, games, TV, promotions, movies. Imagine all you could do with that. Imagine all the independent projects that you could put out there and make some money with. And they are willing to just burn it all away because they are 100% convinced that it'll be fine, though.
Because they have themselves cushed up in a padded, golden-laced, like fucking estate where they're literally eating leaves of gold on poisoned mushrooms and eating that shit at us and saying that we're the unreasonable ones. Fuck that.
Yeah.
What? What's that? All that negative shit you're talking about Netflix? All this negative shit you're saying about us? Nah, bro. Look, here's something to enjoy from Netflix. Go watch One Piece.
I hate how right
don't make me pirate that show. I'm actually doing it. Don't make me take it. He would pirate that show. Okay, I guess I know what I'm doing now. Thanks, Joe. Good idea.
The pirate would pirate this show.
So
I ate the immigrant fruit.
You ate God Almighty.
It allows me to immigrate to another form of media to steal your shit.
Oh my god, you dorks.
Oh my god. All right.
So, like, let me go ahead and wrap you up, Angel, and I'm going to wrap Jose up as well in a minute. Angel, I appreciate you being on here and helping us filling in the potholes with all this. I would have been lost with a lot of the details from that playthrough, and thank you for letting me know that it was Moist Critical, because if I'm not mistaken, Moist Critical is also local in our area, isn't he? We need to find him.
Yes. There is a non 0% chance that you might stumble across Charlie in a gas station somewhere. And then you'll be like, Jesus?
No, gaming Jesus? Yeah, how's it going?
And then he'll be like, no. And then he'll break dance out of the store, spreading clouds of Mountain Dew farts everywhere. And I'll be like, I've been blessed by Jesus.
I've been blessed by gaming Jesus. Truly,
by gaming Jesus.
Jesus de los Juegos. Truly, this is a blessed day.
Angel, before we wrap you up, buddy, what are your final thoughts about all this?
Pretty much everything that has been said has been said. At this point, this feels like, once again, the public, instead of concentrating on the actual issues of the game, goes for the low-hanging fruit. We reached a point where the entire formulary of social media has become people blindly praising the product or people blindly hating the product. If people complain about something and they have like a genuine criticism, I'll understand. I'll hear them out. I might disagree, but I'm not going to shit on them. But if you're going to sit there and make an entire ass clown show of yourself only to scream about pronouns, then even if you have a point, it will make it difficult for the crowd to listen to you. So I guess the lesson is, boys and girls, always mind your temper when you're making a point. Because if the crowd cannot hear you scream, they will not hear you whisper.
That's beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself, Angel.
Those are pretty good.
What can we look forward to this Saturday afternoon when we return to Los Amigos Play?
Gentlemen, we are approaching the climax of Asura's Wrath. We are moments away from facing Deus, saving my beloved daughter, and ending this bullshit once and for all. Please join us, ladies, gentlemen, and beloved listeners all over the world, for the next episode of Los Amigos Play at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. We will be playing Asura's Wrath. We are approaching the big confrontation, the big climax, with the only god with shoes in the entire Patreon. So you know this shit's gonna get real.
Like, for real, for real?
He's the only one that wears shoes.
Oh my god, you're right. Everyone else...
No. Sergey used to wear loafers, but we killed him, so it doesn't count.
Sergey counted.
Steve Blum, you don't count. Get out.
Yeah, no. Well, he never counted. We appreciate that, man. Angel, you go ahead and you have yourself a good night. Go the fuck to sleep, all right, man?
Likewise, my boys and girls. Thank you kindly for your time. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I will see you on Saturday.
See you then, man. Have a good one. That was Angel bouncing out his egg. Let me go ahead and get your final thoughts on all this. I know you haven't been able to get too much, but after hearing and digesting all the data that we've dumped upon you, this gigantic bowl of spaghetti and noodles that are starting to dry up because nobody put any olive oil to keep them fresh, and nobody put any sauce on these noodles. They're drying up, they're congealing together, and they're a little overcooked, so they're becoming a giant mass. After experiencing all of this, Jose, what are your final thoughts regarding the discourse that we've been working to dispel tonight regarding the discussion of Starfield?
Well, first of all, I do want to send some equal praise to Angel Mendes for providing the technical backgrounds for tonight's subject. And yeah, between the three of us, even though I didn't get to talk much, but then again, this is fine because collectively we've made more comprehensive arguments about the game, more sensical criticisms about the game as compared to what this asshole said. If you're going to here's the thing: if you're going to be critical about a game, then be intelligent about it and actually point out actual problems about the game instead of this one being fixated on just one tiny little feature that they added to a criteria. And this guy, in pointing that out and making a whole 2.5 video rant about it, dude, all you're doing is just appealing to the lowest common denominator. Okay, that's all you're doing by shouting into the void. It's ridiculous, and it's even more ridiculous that there are folks I say the lowest common denominator, but there are what, hundreds, thousands of people, I want to say, in the thousands.
There are thousands of people.
There are thousands of people that are rallying behind him, which makes it even worse, which makes it even dumber.
I know, and it's depressing because it's the loudest voice, it's the most obnoxious, it's the dumbest voice, and it goes into a false discourse regarding the game. The game,
you know what it does? No, here's the thing.
Woke field thing is that's not even what the actual problems with the game is. Sorry,
yeah, I know. No, and you know what? You actually made an earlier point where we were talking about algorithms. Folks like this rant video. Hate creates. Well, you said that hate creates money, right?
Hate creates, unfortunately.
Hate creates, unfortunately. Yeah, no, exactly. Hate creates, and that's exactly what he's doing. But at the same time, yeah, it's getting people talking about Starfield, but in a negative sense. Like, come on, man.
That's not even it. I'm not worried about whether people have a negative view or a positive view or a neutral view about the game. What I'm worried about is the fact that folks are limping it in as the worst thing ever in the history of mankind because pronouns. And that isn't even a worthwhile discussion of people's time. But apparently, that's enough to get fucking people to completely dismiss something out of hand. Don't go crapping on something over surface level bullshit like this, because that's a false discussion. That's a false equivalence. If you're getting dragged down to that kind of discourse, there's never going to be a resolution on it. What you should like, dislike, or be neutral about something is on its merits, which in this case, it's like Angel said, it's very pretty. It's still got a lot of problems in it. It doesn't measure up to what was hyped on it, and it's god-awfully overpriced.
Yeah, those are actual criticisms that we pointed out. That's which holds more weight, which holds more water than what this idiot said in 2.5 minutes.
But because we took nearly 2 hours to describe all this, and this guy got this bite-sized 2.5 minute rant and freak out, we're not going to get that same kind of traction because people don't want to actually cut down and cut in to listen to it all. Because, like you said, hate creates. It's short freaking soundbite shit. And, like, I get it. Short form content is appealing, but at the same time, it's like, guys, there's more depth to be had. There's more to this to be had, folks. Like, use some critical thinking. Use your critical mind to actually fucking observe and analyze something. Don't just go for the cheap points. Unfortunately, Juancho, there will be folks like this guy who will take the shortest route to gain any kind of traction, to gain any sort of clout. That being said, that's going to wrap me up for my final thoughts. So what can we look forward to tomorrow night on this week's edition of Wrestle Rewind? Well, for tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind, we got another loaded show, because on top of the reviews for WWE, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling, I will be reviewing 2 pay-per-view main events that happened during Labor Day weekend. One of them is WWE Payback, where Seth Rollins defends the World Heavyweight Championship against the artist, Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, Angel is going to love to hear about this one. So let's not forget, by the way, Angel, watch the review that we've got on that, because that match was freaking hysterical. You'll love it. Yeah, and also, on the side of All Elite Wrestling, they just wrapped up their annual pay-per-view event, AEW All Out, on Sunday, September 3rd, where Jon Moxley challenged freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Thank you. For the AEW International Championship. Exactly. So, yeah, that was a bloody match as well. And we're looking forward to your reviews, Jose. You go ahead and you have yourself a good night, all right, man? Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. All of you have a good night. Please be responsible of where you get your news from. Remember that we're all human beings at the end of the day. And please, please, please don't take shortcuts if you want to create content. Appreciate it, Jose. You have a good night. Good night. And that, folks, was Jose Casabona. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts as well. This is a mess. And it was a stupid mess. I really didn't want to even have to talk about it. I didn't, because this isn't my bag, man. I'm not interested in the cheap little shits. I'm not interested in the cheap little brownie points. I'm interested in actually having discussions about this stuff, and actually having debate and discussion, provide details, provide evidence, provide a solid fucking thinking, solid reasoning. I like being able to do that with our programming. That's why I've taken the Black Files as my own over here, and that's when we all decided to have our own individual shows, because on the Ravens Flock, we've got our multiple news stories of nerd and pop culture. We take some time in each one of them. We give our opinions and all of that, and we give our takes on it as best as we can. But on the Black Files, I get to actually have us breathe and delve into one story at a time per week. And I feel that sort of long-form content and that sort of long-form discussion is more worthwhile. It might not be as catchy and zippy zappy and pappy as fucking this dumbass over here going on like fucking pronouns. Like, yeah, it's entertaining, it's meme-worthy, but it's as shallow as a freaking saucer plate. It's shallow, it's non-productive, and all it ends up doing is giving people a false equivalence on what the actual discussion for this game and for other games similar to this ends up needing to be about. Like, no, don't freaking go like, oh, the wokey points, or how gender inclusive, or like, oh, this is transgender. Like, fucking get over yourselves with that bullshit. I get it, that's your bag, but man, grow the fuck up. That isn't even the fucking problem with this game. The problem with this game is that they took fucking shortcuts. The problem is with this game is that they put on a very nice flashy coat of paint over a game engine that's over 10 years old. The problem with this game is that the price tag on it is overinflated to make up for the fact that it took them 7 years and $200 million to produce this game. Those are problems. Those are actual problems. And the fact that they had 500 developers working on it, banging it out for 7 years straight, and this is what they came out with, it still doesn't quite measure up in terms of quality. And the fact of the matter is that those workers are busting their hides, they're ripping their freaking innards out in order to make this work, and they're being paid peanuts. And now we've got SAG-AFTRA coming in saying, like, well, we're going to strike the video game industry as well. We've got actual worker unions in the video game industry, like, hold on. I actually had one pulled up over here. Let me actually fucking get the name of it again. Hang on. Yeah, no, it was the Game Workers Unite was the name of the the trade union that's trying to organize over here. They came together in March of 2018. I'm pretty sure that these poor dudes are just like, they're being worked to the bone. They're still being paid peanuts. So all this profit, all this money is just going to go straight into the freaking wallets of the executives of these companies. Joanne over here is saying that he has to go to bed. It's 5 a.m. You got to go to work. Appreciate you being over here. Some dude, guy incognito. Okay, well, you could stand with him. His review is shallow, and it's doesn't even address actual problems in the game. So you can stand there on the shallow end of the pool. Go ahead. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Like, and oh, bless you. Oh, thank you both, Lisa Boo and Sarah Serenity. Because I'm over here, I'm sneezing my head off because I'm fucking frustrated with this. Why is it that we've lost our capacity as a people, even in online discourse, especially in online discourse, where we can't actually have long-form discussion, where we can't actually have proper discussions with each other on issues, where we can actually present our case, where we can actually present ourselves with each other and have actual debates on this stuff, have actual discussions regarding issues in the video game industry, in nerd and pop culture, in movies and TV shows, and the anime convention community. Why is it that we can't pull ourselves away from this 30-second soundbite bullshit that was popularized by radio? God almighty. Like, he explained himself very well in 2.5 minutes about pronouns, about the whole thing of gender identity, and so, like, it takes a lot more than 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 37 seconds to discuss that kind of stuff. And like I said, that's a false dichotomy with the actual issues of the game. I can understand being frustrated with a game if it's buggy as all hell, but something this minor, get the fuck over yourself, man. I'm not even kidding anymore. Like, cry me a fucking river. Get over yourself with that. In any case, I'm seriously like, yeah, I'm shaken because I really want us all as a people to be able to have these discussions and do so in a manner that isn't just trying to farm easy clicks and views and farm easy little tweets and touts and shit. I'm not into that game. God almighty. I'm not into that gag. I don't know how other people can't be. Well, if that's what's actually popular about it, if there's actual problems with the game, then why isn't that blown up? I would love to see why that part of the discussion isn't actually, like, I would actually love to see him discuss, like, the problems that we were talking about, how they fucking made Pluto a freaking flat MPEG or whatever that you can't actually fly into, how there's actual problems with the graphics in the game, how there's basically slapdash and lazy booking on there, how the workers are being actually worked to the bone on an overinflated budget that's putting every single bit of the bottom line to the top execs and actually the people who bust their asses in coding and programming and debugging this game and still coming out with an inferior product. I would love to have actually had a discourse regarding what heelvsbabyface had to say in that regard, but we have to address the stupidity of the wokes pronoun shit, because that's what apparently is what's most important to this fucking guy. And I want us to actually have proper discussions. I want it so fucking badly. And I'm hoping that we can all actually come to a proper discussion on all this stuff. I'm not trying to pick a fight with this dude. I'm bringing it up because whether he wants it or not, he's news. So this is the stuff we have to cover. This is the shit that we have to talk about, because this is the soup I fucking swim in. I got no other recourse. I wanted to go more into the facet of how the video game industry is exceedingly exploitative of the workers, of the engineers, of the coders, of the graphic designers, of the actual artists working on this shit. I would love to actually have been able to discuss that in further detail, because that's the kind of shit that actually impacts the quality of the game. That's why, like, if No Man's Sky had come out 7 years ago, the way it came out now, if there was a way for that to have been done in a productive manner that would have actually been able to produce a product at that point, that would have been phenomenal. But the fact of the matter is that they came out with a procedurally generated game that came out with absolute dog shit. It was crash every 5 seconds, and it ended up getting lambasted all to hell. And it took 7 years for the developers of No Man's Sky to be able to pull that out. I don't think Bethesda has the kind of intestinal fortitude to actually stick with and actually fix the shit with Starfield the way that they did with No Man's Sky. And if they did, they probably won't do it anyway, because it would cost them too much time and effort. They don't want to do that. They just want to chase the quick fucking buck. And I'm tired of people just chasing the quick and flashy. We need to have depth. We need to have discussion in detail. We need to have common ground. There's fucking certain inalienable truths, fucking facts of life that we have to fucking agree upon. The sky is blue, water's wet. Guess what? The genders and sexuality is a fucking spectrum, and you can even actually look at that in a chromosomal genetics makeup on their standpoint. And you better believe a biologist will look you straight in the face and say, yeah, it's all in a spectrum. It just matters at the end of the day how much of which ends up coming out on top, which ends up defining characteristically in a physical manner. That doesn't necessarily mean that it correlates with what happens neurochemically in the actual brain. In the actual brain development, and how that interprets into your emotions. That being said, with basic ground rules of a discussion, of an actual proper sit-down talk about this shit, we can get ourselves to some sort of consensus, some sort of common ground. That's what part of the Ravens Flock is all about. Pointing out the real problems in nerd and pop culture. It started out with us in the con community in Central Florida, and we expanded that beyond, because we see that the problems are not just in our backyard. And coming to a consensus of what the problems are, and working together and in order to come up with solutions or plans of action. Because ignoring those problems are not going to make it go away. That's what started us out. When we say your voice, our mission, it's because the folks in the nerd community here in Florida have been screaming out, and the folks in higher stations wouldn't listen. They still wouldn't listen in a lot of cases. That's what the Ravens Flock is here for. To help bring that voice out. That's what we need. We need more depth of discussion. We need the actual discussion to have a certain set of common grounds that we can agree upon before we can even have this debate. But if you can't even meet and something as basic as water's wet and the earth is round and the sky is fucking blue, then I'm sorry, I can't fucking have a civilized discussion with your ass. What the hell? Sarah Sereni wants me to breathe. I breathe through osmosis. But I digress. You can look for more in-depth discussions from us here in the Ravens flock. You can have more content like this that gives more substance to these discussions, that gives more depth and gives actual analysis along with our opinions. We're not going to say we're 100% unbiased. There's no one who's 100% unbiased. I'm sorry. But we are going to try to come to a consensus. We are going to try to come to a common ground. And at least that's our efforts over here. And we hope that you'll tune in as we do so on this program, the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens flock, The Black Files, hosted by yours truly, Juan Arouse, as we delve into the dark heart of nerd and pop culture every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content, become an interflocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle, Rewind, and the Ravens flock. For Jose Casabona and Angel Mendez, I am Juan Arouse. Sorry, Eric Cooper, I didn't see you until the end. This has been the Black Files, and